pretty sure, I'm getting to the subscribers, and now I'm getting ready to really get into the meat of what's going on. I've been, doing some videos because I'm going to praise dance. I love to dance. As part of being a personal trainer, one of the things that, help you stay fit is dancing. And, who dictates what praise dancing is? Praise dancing is anything that, no, not anything. Let me stop. Praise dancing is when you're dancing in the spirit, to whatever kind of music. As long as the music, the words, what's coming is of the edification, the Holy Spirit of God. You get that groove. This is what's going to get our youth back with this seed planting, with the influence that music does in their lives, in all our lives. Plant seeds, listening to that. Anything that comes through that ear or these eyes or the nose, the mind is receiving it and processing it. It's just that we're not processing things correctly. And, that's what we're going to get down to business at hand. And it's just, man, you're talking about the struggle. You talk about the fight. And the thing is, it don't stop. It's never going to stop. Because you don't reach to that point of perfection. You just perfect your desire to love God. That's the closest to perfection you can get, is your desire to love God. And even then we fall short for this sinful flesh. But in many cases, people point out the sinful flesh, as a way of, as an scapegoat, or, as a hiding place to go to in times of hurt and pain. But that's not the case. So we have to understand that this pain, this glorious suffering, as I call it. How could suffering be glorious? You say, right? Sure it can be. Sure it is. Because he says, through many trials and tribulations you enter into the kingdom of heaven. I don't care what documentary, I don't care what show, I don't care what realization type situation you witness, you will receive from most people that they've gained most experience, most learned growth in their life during the bad times. There is no bad times. All these times God used for his purpose, right? For those who love him. And I'm a living witness to tell you that no matter what, no matter how rough, no matter how tough, it always, listen to what I'm telling you with the power of God. Not this fake stuff that's being hijacked with, people parading around as angels, but they're really wolves. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the power that comes from a real living God in your life. It's been hijacked. It's been hijacked. The truth has been hijacked. The power that was unleashed through the blood has been hijacked. It's yours. The coldest terrorist in the world is that evil one. He's the coldest terrorist in the world. We know what terrorists are, this, that, but spiritually, and I live in the spiritual world. Coldest terrorist in the world, that evil one. Coldest liar, deceiver, but a fool. Because you can't beat a God, a living God, a real God. A God that has somehow been minuscule down to just, if you love a flower, that's God. And, anything that's love is God. And not quite. That's why it's important that the New Testament does do away with things and enlighten things, and he really gives you a chance in that New Testament. But it's important. The Old Testament can't go nowhere because God doesn't change. Now, the wickedness of people and man has been since the dawn of time, and it's going to be to the last millisecond of time. It's going to exist. But happiness depends on what happens. Joy comes from God, and I'm telling you, I know. Because even when it's rough, it's joy because you know it's in the plan. And when you know it's in the plan, how can you get mad? And I'm telling you once again, a living witness. From the suffering to the hate, to the pain, to the deprivation, to all of that stuff, I would do it 1,000,000 times again to get to this point right here. Because there's unacceptable things that's got to be dealt with. And the level of where we're going to go, and the level for what God has prepared me for. That's why I couldn't just come any kind of way. I didn't fall off a cliff, survive, and now I want to be a motivational speaker, and I believe in God, or I just been called, and or was in prison for this, that, and found them. And don't get me wrong, you can find them there and anywhere. Not a disclaimer. I don't disclaim that. That's not my point. Because you could definitely find them there in the isolation that you probably need. Right? To get away from the foolishness, the madness of the matrix. So much that you can't even think your way out of something that has already been paved the way out. So the ministry is started. I'm Minister Cargile. I appreciate if you address me that way. I gave up everything from earrings, all that, man. Talking about to get to this point, I gave up $130,000 trucking career a year, down to nothing. Sold leathers, furs, diamonds, everything to get to this point. I've been sent. See, the cold thing about that is it eliminates debate, because if you're not trying to hear what I got to say, then that's fine, but we're not going to debate about it. I'm not going to be bogged down in madness. God didn't send me for that. He been sent for me to clear up some things, give some people some right perspective from the Holy Spirit, that they'll receive it. Can't keep saying we're in the last days and not doing things of significance. And to those who are truly God, it's unacceptable. How we're not getting through to the people that are following us, that are following great men of God, people that love God, people, a sister, mother, people that's just an example of, or you're supposed to be an example, right, of God's unchanging hand, agape love, knowledge and wisdom, spiritual, not carnal. So, anyway, we get ready to get down to business. The ministry has started. 5, 10 videos every day. I'll be doing the music videos. Like I said, I praise dance. Now, if you finna start hoochie mama dancing, and you finna start doing this, that, and you finna, then come on now, then that's foolishness, and I don't deal with that. I don't have time. So we know what, when I'm talking about you can jam and all of that and be tasteful, jam and all of that and be respectful, jam and all of that and be in order, because God is always in order. So that's why I said I don't have time to play. So when I say that don't come interviewing me talking about, is it okay to, no, it's not okay for foolishness. In the last days, it's time out for foolishness. So you know what I mean. You know it's unacceptable. You know it's not unacceptable if you're a believer. It's in your discernment. It's in your spirit. You can't even do things that's unacceptable and feel good about yourself or your representation of the godly self, supposedly. So listen, I love you. The ministry, my ministry is called The Last Inning, Wheat or Tear. Okay? A lot of my speaking and my sermons and teachings will be to the youth because they've been lied upon, led astray, bamboozled, and hoodwinked, and that's unacceptable. They're bright, talented, and they are our future, and they deserve a future after this life. So we got some work to do, believers. Not hijackers, believers. Okay? God is real. The power is real. And we can ready to deal with a lot of things. So once again, the last inning, wheat or tear. And what that stands for is the last days. And you're either going to be a wheat or tear. Because how great Elon Musk may be in money or whatever, he's not God, nothing like whatever. God does not, and I don't take anything from Elon Musk. Great man, done a lot good things, and I don't know what he's done bad. I'm not saying a lot of that, but what I do know is that he make hybrids and God doesn't. So either you're gonna be a wheat or a tear. All this kumbaya love stuff and everything goes, and as long as you ain't hurting nobody and all that, you better check yourself. Better check yourself. There's some things, there's some alignments that you got to fall in. It don't cost you no worldly money, but it really don't cost you nothing, because when you go after it, it's joy. It's beautiful. It's beyond beautiful. And that's really when you don't even worry about death, because it's so beautiful and you see it and you live in it, and you're not going to give it anything. You're not going to give nothing, nobody, no thing, It's that beautiful, and you deserve it. Been like I said, this Christianity, this other stuff been hijacked. There's a Holy Spirit, Jesus, blood, all of that. That's real. But we need to get down to business. We need to get down to some truth, or we're going to deal with oblivious history. That's my term. One of the things that I'm going to travel around this country and deal with, because it's unacceptable And that's why the foolishness persists. Because and a lot of people have their objective, projective, and really just totally crazy views of things because they really don't know the history, they don't know the facts, they don't know none of that. Speaking on emotions and feelings and all this led astray information that you got. So your perspective is jacked. But we serve an awesome God, baby. We serve an awesome God. And he's sending people with the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help you truth. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it no other way. Can't do it no other way. So I love you. I'm here. It's my new broadcast studio. Man, it's just me. God, my team. See? But he wanted like that. Like I said, he does things, he's awesome. But a prime example of, man, people that could help, didn't help, everything I had to learn, I had to learn. Man, but that's cool. Because I did have a team. Team Cargyle. I had an owner, God, I got a coach, Jesus, the blood, and I got a line conditioning coach, which is the Holy Spirit. So I got a team that backs me so cold. That foolishness just won't prevail. So I love you with the love of God. I love you with the love of the one true living God. And I love you with the power that was given to all of us that radiates through us to the next one. That's why our purposes are connect. But we're going to get into some things, though. So we here. We get ready to get busy. A lot of videos. Like I said, I'm doing that praise dancing, bringing out the gospel music. That's the new music that's going to influence the youth moving forward. They hot. Man, God is hot. And he's real. Love you. Peace.
We gotta make it someday. Some way.